Hello students, in this video I am going to tell you different forms of the function. Different forms of the function which I have already explained you, that function can be defined which will not accept any argument and will not return any value. Function can be defined uh, which may accept argument, will not return any value. Function can be defined which will not accept argument and will return value, and function can be defined which will accept argument and will return the value. It is completely depends upon the situation, that how you would like to how your program requires definition of the function. Okay, and along with that example I'll show you the parameters or arguments. As I told you that parameters and arguments are interchangeable words, and then scope of variables. Okay, now let us take the example of factorial, finding a factorial of a number. Okay, we are simply going to find a factorial of a number, right? So let us see. We will take the 5, any number, any constant number, for finding the factorial of the number. So let us write the first definition of the function to find fact. Okay, find fact, and this will not receive any argument and will not return any value. So let us have a variable. That variable we are going to take fact equals to 5, right? Let us take the, you can use the for loop or while loop. So I'm going to use for loop for x in range. Instead of fact you can take here n. So we will give the range, it will start from 1 to n. Okay, and take one another variable, that is fact equals to n, right? So now we are going to multiply fact equals to fact into n x, right? And then print x fact. Function is defined, n is holding the value 5, and the value held by the x is n is that value for which we will find the factorial. Okay, so this is the program. Let us see how this will execute. Okay, now I'm going to call this function from the main program. Okay, the name of the function is find underscore fact. So when we will save this program, just save with any name. In the desktop I'm going to save it, give any name. Okay, already existing with the same name. Save this and F5. Now factorial display, means our program is correct. Now let us write the same program. Okay, I'm going to just separate it, another function. Let us define another function which will accept define argument. Okay, so the name find fact underscore. Let us write a name like find fact 1. Okay, function name should be short, so that because we need to call the function again and again, so we should give the meaningful name to the function and short also. So this will accept a argument. Okay, an argument will be a parameter, and a parameter will be accepted by this function. Now let's and write the program. Again, fact equals to n. I'm going to just observe the program, how I have written the previous definition, function definition. Right, with this example I would like to show you that how we can write the same program in different way as we would like to write. Okay, now so for x in range there is 1 comma n, right, colon, and fact equals to fact into x. Fact equals to fact into x, right, and then print fact. Okay, see why I written these statements again, to show you. Right now we can copy it from the previous function also to save our time, but I have not done so. I have written this to show you that this is the another function, okay, which is the n we have provided inside the function this value, and now here in this function definition we are accepting from the calling function call statement. This number we are accepting from the function call statement, and rest of the things are same. You just see. Now let us define another function. Define find fact 2. I have given name 2. Okay, find fact 2, right. Now in this function will not accept any argument, so we will give the, let us copy, okay, Control C, and we will come here, Control V, right. So here is fact 5, so n will hold the value, fact equals to n, and this will remain same. But what we will do from here, we will return this factorial. Okay, return, right, we will return this factorial to the calling program. Okay, f. Now so this is the first function, this is the second function. We are going to define the third function, right, which will accept argument and will return value also, and then you will see that how these three different forms of the function can be called. So def equals to find def equals to find fact 3. I given the name fact 3, so we'll accept in as an argument, and we are going to write here the fact equals to n, right. Then for x in range and 1 comma n, right, here colon, and then fact equals to fact into x, right, and then we will return this factorial, return fact. Now you have seen that we have defined 4 type of function. Okay, so now let us write here star to separate this. Now there is the first function definition, second function definition, third function definition, and fourth function definition. And now you can see the difference that in first function definition, okay, in first function definition, function is not accepting any argument, not returning any value. Okay, everything, all the codes which you were written earlier in the main program is written inside the function. Okay, now in the second function definition, instead of accepting the value inside the function, we are receiving this value as an argument, as a parameter from the calling function. Okay, so I have written here n. So now you can see that this part is skipped. Okay, so here fact equals to n, and all the statements are same. Factorial is being calculated, and it will be printed from the program inside, function inside. And now we are going to define the another function, that is the another part. The another form of the function is the definition which is not accepting any argument, okay, but returning the factorial from the function. Means function is not printing the value, okay, function is not print from the output, is not being printed from inside the function. Okay, you can see that this value is returned to the calling function call statement, and from there this factorial will be printed. Okay, and now the fourth form is what? This definition, function definition, is accepting argument. Okay, parameter is being accepted by this function, and the calculated factorial is returned to the calling function. Means the function call statement will pass argument, pass number for the calculation, the number for which you would like to find the factorial. That number will be passed from the function call statement, and function call statement will receive the output. Okay, and the what is the role of the function? Only the what the number they are receiving, that number will be calculated. For that number, the factorial will be calculated from this function, and that calculated factorial will be returned from this function. Okay, so now let us write the function call statements. Let us write the function call statement for function call statement to call this 4 types of function. Okay, now this will follow the function call statement. Now see, I'm going to call the first function. Okay, and let us separate it by writing the print statement. Print the first function call, that is the find underscore fact, find underscore fact. Okay, and parenthesis. Now next function call statement will look how. Let us copy this, Control C, Control V. Now next call statement is accepting argument find fact 1, name of the function, right? I have passed 5 as an argument for the factorial calculation. Okay, now let us call the third function definition find fact 2, but this will be a little bit different from the previous 2 call statement. Here this function is returning the value, so you must have to receive the value from here. Okay, now see this function fact 2, find fact 2 is returning factorial, so we have to receive here the value. This value factorial will be returned to the function call statement, means the place from where the function is called, this place the factorial, calculated factorial will be returned to this place, so we have to receive it. So let us create a variable. Let us take the name of the variable fact. Okay, or if I am going to take it if. right? And then you have to write a print statement to print the f. Print f, okay, print f, right? Now let us call the fourth function, that is the find fact 3. Find fact 3. But this function is defined to receive an argument. So where I'm going to pass the number as 5 to 5 as an argument or as a parameter, and now this function is returning value. Okay, so we must have to receive the value, so we need here one variable, one container to store the received value from the function call statement. Okay, so now then we have to print it from here because the output is received by the main program. So you have to write print f. Now let us see how we have defined these 4 functions, okay, and how we have written the call statement for all different 4 forms of the function, and what will be the output. And you will be able to see that there is no difference in output. Okay, here is the indentation problem, so let us change it again. 4 spaces it takes, so everywhere this will show error. Indentation is very important here. So now again, what is the error coming? Find name of the function, here it should be find. Okay, and then rest of call is same. Now see, just we have to make this print so that what is happening here, the factorial calculation, each step is being printed here, so this will not print. Now you see 120 120 120. Okay, the output 4 times we have called the function, right? Find factorial. Okay, find factorial, and you can see that we have got the same output. 5 we have passed as an argument, as an parameter, and we have got same output 120 120 120 120. Now see that is there any difference in the output? No difference. Where is the difference? In function call statement. Difference is where? With the difference is in function call statement. Okay, and function definition, right? So each function, different definition have their own importance. Okay, and it depends upon the situation that how you would like to define the function. If you don't want to pass any argument to the function, then you define in the first form. Here the 5 is the constant. Now you, instead of 5, you may write here, you may accept the value from the user also, like input. Okay, so from here the user will enter input, enter number for factorial. Okay, factorial, right? Enter number for factorial. Now see here, enter number for factorial, n equals to input, so n will receive the value whatever will be entered by the user, and the factorial will be calculated. Now come to the second definition of the function n. So n, here you have to change the value, that in function call statement. So this is the first function call statement. Second call statement, what you can do, the same statement what you have written here, the same statement you can write. Now you copy this, Control C, and paste it here in function, second function call statement. You see, so I have copied the same statement, and let us pass this n to the function. Instead of n, another name you can take. Okay, instead of n, another name you can take a, right, a. Okay, now the third statement is what? The third function definition is not accepting any argument. So you may write in place of this n equals to 5, you can write the statement what we have written in the first function definition. Okay, now see the case when we are not passing, the function is not accepting any argument. So now see, the first function definition is not accepting any argument, and the third one is also. So we have written the same statement. For what changes, why we are doing the changes? Because we don't want that for the same number, we don't want that for the same number factorial should be calculated. We want to make our function dynamic, that as many times we will compile this program. So function will ask the number, program will ask the number from us, means every time when we will execute our program, so it will calculate work for the different number. Right now in previous case was the constant 5. Okay, now let us see, this is again receiving the argument from the user from the function call statement. So what we will do, we will write the statement here, control V, we will accept number from the calling program. Okay, I am going to change the name a here, you can leave it n also, no problem, no issue. Now you see, now see the difference. This is the first function call statement which is not accepting any argument, not returning value. So I have just written the name of the function and parenthesis. Okay, when the function is not accepting any argument and not returning value, just you need to write the name of the function parenthesis. This is the call statement for that kind of function. When your function is accepting argument, so you must have to pass the argument from the function call statement. This is a function call statement, so you must have to pass the argument from the function call statement, right? So this I have a is passed from the function call statement as an argument. So a, you can write the constant number, you can accept the from the user, just I have written here to accept the in a, the user is entering the value from the keyboard and that value is being passed to the function. Okay, now in the third form of the statement, function definition is function call is what? This function is returning value. So see, when the value is returned, so when the after evaluation, so we are not passing any argument from here because the function is not accepting any argument, but after evaluation function is returning value. So we have to write a variable name to receive the value which is returned by the function after evaluation of the function. Okay, and in the last function statement you can see that function is returning value and accepting argument also. So you can see the function call statement. Okay, now for the first function, number is asked for the factorial calculation, so I am going to enter 6. Okay, so 6, for 6 the value is returned for each function. Now see, this is the second function call statement. Can you see the difference in the output? No, you will not be able to differentiate that how the function is written, how the function is called, how the codes are written, whether it is written in the function or whether the calculation is done in directly in the main program. Okay, so for the second call also I am going to enter 6. So you can see for the third call also I am going to enter 6. So you will get the output 6, and for the fourth call also I am going to enter 6. So you can see, you can observe these 4 forms of the function to understand the different way how we can define the function. Now second one is the parameters or argument. Okay, now let us see that these are the parameters. What are the parameters? The value which is accepted, accepted by the function to work with the function when the function is receiving any value, or the value which is received by the function to work on are the parameters, and place where the parameter is written inside the parenthesis. And if a function is accepting parameter, so through the function call statement you must have to pass the parameter, then only that function will be called. Okay, otherwise the system will search for the another call statement. If system will found any of the definition which is not accepting any argument, so that part will be called. Okay, so we are not discussing that part here just the parameters. So parameters are well clear to you. Now the parameter which we are passing from the function call, this is called the actual parameter. Okay, so here you may write that a is actual parameter. a is actual parameter. Actual parameter. a is actual parameter. Okay, and the value is passed from a to which form will be called fact1. So fact1 is where? Fact1 is here. Okay, so n is formal parameter. Here n is a formal parameter. Okay, n is a formal parameter. Okay, n is formal parameter, x is a is actual parameter. Now the thing is there here, the global and the scope of the variable. Scope of the variable is what? There is the local and global variable scope. Okay, scope of the variable, local and global variable, right? Local scope and the global scope. So local and global, right? Local and global. Global variables are what? Any variable which is defined outside the function is called the global variable, and when a variable is defined or declared inside any function is the local variable, because as I have explained you in my theory video that the variables which is defined inside the function definition, they are being created when the function is called. Okay, and when you will come out from the function, those variables are being destroyed from the memory, so they are the local variables. Okay, and the local variables will not be visible outside the program. Local variables will not be visible outside the program. For local and global variable, another program I'll demonstrate you, give you the demonstration of the another program. Okay, so in this demonstration what I have explained to you, the different forms of the function and the parameters, actual parameter and formal parameter, right? Listen students, there is the positional parameters. One, you remember the positional parameters are what? As number of argument is received by the function, that many argument you must have to pass from the function call statement. Okay students, so thank you.